What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be working on the rear end of the S13, not body related though, subframe and, well, pretty much subframe work. We have our GK Tech subframe reinforcement plates that we're going to get welded on, and we also have our GK Tech solid subframe bushings that we're going to put on, and then we're going to put the subframe right back in. We don't have any of the arms or anything yet, so we're just getting this out of the way. That way we can get just a little bit done at a time instead of waiting and then never getting to it and then just doing a bunch at once. Might as well get done what we have right now, right? I already have the wheels off. This is actually the first time since I've ever bought this car that the wheels have came off. But I was surprised. They actually came off pretty easily. I thought they were going to be rusted on. The lug nuts were going to be all stuck. But just like any other S13 subframe, we just got to do the 4 main bolts. Right there and right there, and there's also some support brackets that we have to get off, so like that has to come off. Same thing on the other side. Undo the caliper, that way the caliper can stay here, and undo the shock, that way everything can just drop and lower down. While I have you guys down here though, quick question: any of you guys know what diff is this? Because it has the 5-bolt axles, and there's no ABS sensor, so that's a good thing on my part. But I have to take this off because I'm not too sure, but I feel like the S13 diffs, this little ears on the side, weren't that huge. But then again, I could be wrong, I don't know. So just leave down in the comments below if you guys know what kind of diff this is. Unfortunately, I don't have a second person here to help me film this, so I'm just gonna have to cut through a time lapse and just skip forward to me getting this thing out and dropped and whatnot. Alright, we got the rear subframe out. Before you guys yell at me, let me go ahead and zip tie calipers up, that way they're not hanging by the brake lines. Onto the caliper, I want to hold it up. Alright, so now that we got the subframe out, I'm just going to go ahead and take off all of the extra stuff, so unbolt all of the arms, remove the diff. That way it's just bare subframe and we can clean it up and get it ready for the plates to be welded on. So look what I found out, a little sketchy. I went to go take the diff out, right? Here's the bolt. Look at that. I knew something looked off. So I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be a bushing in there, so I'm pretty sure this is the S14 diff. But yeah, good thing I actually went with the step, because yeah, if this ever got loose, it would have all that slack and could potentially do something bad. So yeah, what diff is this? We're gonna continue with taking the bushings out of the subframe. We already got one of the cores out, as you can see. What I'm doing actually is I have this, sorry, I'm out of breath, this drywall saw, sticking it in the gaps and just cutting away at the bushing where you can see there's little gaps in there that you can stick it in. Once we get the core out, I'm gonna burn the rest of the rubber out and then just hit the edge of this in with a chisel and a hammer just to fold it in, and we'll get the bushing to slide right out. So let's just cut to the time lapse. we've been having some issues. We can't get it to collapse on itself and just come right out of the subframe. So we're gonna take a quick pause, try to find a sawzall, and so we can cut a slit into it and collapse it that way. So it'll be a lot easier. And once we find one, we'll pick up from there. Alright guys, it's the next day. We stopped by the shop last night and borrowed RJ's sawzall. So we got this fresh blade here and a bunch of other fresh blades. But we're just going to go ahead and cut that outer metal ring and get these bushings headed out. And the trick is, with this, when you do this, you always want to cut into the thick part. Don't cut on the outer edge, because if you accidentally go a little too far and you cut out, you know, you're not going to have a good time. And ask us how we know. Actually, ask RJ how we know this. But anyways, cut towards the thicker end of it, and don't go too far. See how much easier that was compared to all that hitting we did yesterday? Cut one slit down the middle, as you can see, and it just folds in on itself and comes right out. So let's go ahead and do that to the rest of them. Just like that, we got all four out. Top tip, pro tip, definitely use a sawzall on the hammer. Cut a little slit in it and hit it out, because it took me like an hour to bend it like this yesterday and not move a single inch. With the sawzall, it took me about 5 minutes and got all of them out. Well, probably even less. So now that that's out, we can go ahead and clean the subframe and get it ready for all the bushings. So right now we're just working on cleaning the subframe, because we're gonna have to weld on the reinforcement plates on some of these areas. So yeah, we're just getting it with wire brush and some degreaser, scrubbing away at it so we can get it clean enough for Richard to weld on. So the wire wheel wasn't doing much on this side, and I was like, you know what, let me try to get it with a screwdriver, and look how deep all this dirt is. So I'm gonna go ahead and scrape all this off with the screwdriver, and then we'll go back to the wire wheel. You can see it's all cleaner now after many hours of cleaning, and it's actually just starting to rain like right now. So let's go ahead and put all this stuff inside. Alright guys, unfortunately that's all we have time for today. It's starting to rain, and we still have to get the reinforcements welded on, so we'll continue that in another video. But that being said, thank you guys for watching. Hope this video was a little useful for you, and you guys have figured out how to get these bushings out easily. But other than that, that's gonna be it. Peace out guys, see you guys in the next one.